Hello, welcome to Ground Zero. What we're doing today is an installation of our own lift station to deal with a high groundwater problem. If you come over here, you'll see that we have groundwater 22 inches below the surface, which is a constant problem to get water in basements and that type of thing. I am fortunate enough I don't have water in my basement because of a good landscaping job and good drainage. However, just to clean it up in case that big storm ever does come, I've decided to put my own lift station in. So what you see here is basically what we did is we set the foundation up. We got a 16-inch deep trench, 16-inch trench that we're going to run, that's going to run to a junction box over here, which will tee with another perforated line 16 inches deep. We're also going to have a basin, a 9-inch catch basin here, a 12-inch catch basin there, and we're going to run everything into our 55-gallon drum. The 55-gallon drum is going to have a trajectory where we're going to have the conduit running in, the PVC pipe is going to run in at about 13 inches. That'll give us adequate room to upgrade the lift station from what we currently are running is a 3/4 inch. We're currently running a 3rd horsepower on a regular garden hose. With the new installation, the new 55-gallon drum, we're going to go to a 2-inch, 1 horsepower pump that'll pump about 10,000 gallons per hour. So we're not really going to have to worry too much about getting it up the hill here. If you can see, I installed a 4-inch trench that'll go into our drainage that we're going to be pumping up on our lift station. However, because we live in Minnesota and a lot of big storms, we have the possibility of losing power. So unfortunately, we have to have an override system. For the override system, in the event that the pump fails, we will have an outlet over here on this side of the barrel that'll sit exactly 1 inch lower than the intake. This outtake will always work as an overflow in the event that there's a power loss. As you can see, this trench here, we've trenched it out. Anybody that does any trenching, the first thing I'm going to tell you is if you have dry land, to learn the hard way is I watered the night before because it's been extremely dry, and I was able to dig this whole trench today probably in about 3 hours. I'm not saying it's not a lot of work, it is. First thing you want to get yourself is a trenching shovel, a little short back for getting down in deep, and a regular spade to start your hole. And there's basically a 4th shovel that you'll need that works excellent is a straight edge. And that allows you to trim the sides here. Oh, here it is. This is an old one, came from Uncle Bob, from Bob's farm. It's been in the family for probably about 75 years. This works great for cutting the edges down and giving ourselves room to work within the trench. The other key thing most people don't think of when they're doing a trench is when they're in the trench, they don't know how to check it for being level. And we use a string level, and nobody makes a decent level, so I found myself a really straight board, and I put a $3 level. Total investment here is about $6, but the advantage of this over a regular level is the fact that it covers more ground. Typically, most of the levels you buy are like 7 feet, but a lot of the readings on the exterior only reach out about 4. The level's 7 feet long, but the levels are only 4 feet apart. This gives me optimum distance to measure to see how my trench is coming along. So that's about it for today. One other thing I can show you, this is where we're going to be running the conduit for the power. Little things you need to think of. We've got to run conduit for the power. That's the mini trench right here. We're also going to run a check valve. It's important to run a check valve on the pump to make sure we get no back feed in the event we have problems. We don't want water feeding back into our barrel. The barrel, instead of purchasing it, I just went and got it from manufacturer, or you can buy them from Fleet Farm, and they're pretty inexpensive. So that concludes this part of it, and we'll show you the finished product in a day or